What's going on, guys? This is Blockbird Cryptocurrency coming at you with another video. Market cap is at $251 billion. Bitcoin is down almost 9%. Ethereum down almost 8%. And Litecoin down almost 12%. So a pretty rough day today in the crypto market. A lot of people are attributing this to concerns about Binance, which I'm not quite buying. I think it's just overall a general weakness in the market. And I mentioned this yesterday when I was tweeting about 9 a.m. Yesterday morning. And I was looking at the 4-hour BTC chart, and I was saying that volume wasn't sufficient to maintain a bullish breakout. So I'm not going to say that I caught it, but rather I just don't think that the market was steaming ahead strongly enough in order to, push through those headwinds of any sort of FUD. And in this type of market, a pin could drop and the market would have a heart attack. So just keep that in mind when trading. Let's actually get a look at the live action of Bitcoin on Bitfinex. As you can see, the price on Bitfinex is $6,600 and $6,610 approximately. The RSI for Bitcoin right now is at about 34. So it's getting close to oversold territory. So you may be seeing a bounce soon for those of you who are interested in doing some swing trading. I personally don't think I will be, just because it requires a lot of effort in terms of watching price action very closely and keep an eye on these charts. But for the person who has the time, just keep that in mind. We are getting close to oversold territory. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. And that is, Ripple has tried to buy its way onto major exchanges for cryptocurrency. So this is a follow-up video of sorts to my previous video of why Ripple will not be listed on Coinbase. In this Bloomberg article that came out today, it goes a little more in depth about why, in fact, that will more than likely be the case in the foreseeable future. And it goes into events surrounding Ripple trying to get listed on major exchanges like Gemini and Coinbase. So let's go through the story and talk a little bit about Ripple. Ripple has a problem. The startup controls the world's third largest cryptocurrency, XRP. Banks have signed onto its network and bought equity stakes in its business, which wants to rewire how money moves around the world. And yet, when it comes to obtaining a coveted listing for XRP on two of the top US cryptocurrency exchanges, Ripple hasn't been able to close the deal. It isn't for lack of trying. Last year, the San Francisco-based company suggested paying financial incentives to the venues, Gemini and Coinbase, according to 4 people with direct knowledge of the matter, who asked not to be identified discussing private information. For all the hype surrounding Ripple and XRP, its absence on markets like Gemini and Coinbase is eye-catching. By dangling money in front of exchanges, Ripple signaled that its future success hinges in part on getting XRP listed on top trading venues. But there's a major headwind in that effort. U.S. officials have warned unlicensed exchanges not to list tokens that could be deemed securities. XRP's control by a single company has fueled speculation it could fall under that designation. Last year, a Ripple executive asked whether a $1 million cash payment could persuade Gemini to list XRP in the third quarter, according to people familiar with the matter. That followed other attempts by Ripple to get Gemini to add XRP, exploring strategies like paying out rebates and covering related costs, the people said. During preliminary talks with Coinbase last fall, Ripple said it would be willing to lend the exchange more than $100 million worth of XRP to start letting users trade the asset, according to a person privy to that discussion. Ripple, without putting the proposal in writing, told Coinbase it could pay back the loan in XRP or dollars, the person said. If the exchange had chosen the latter, it could have profited had the tokens become more valuable upon being listed, the person said. Gemini and Coinbase both declined to pursue the proposals, the people said. Presented with description of Ripple's proposals to the exchanges, company spokeswoman Amelie Kremer said some of the information was inaccurate but declined to specify which details she was disputing. Regardless, Ripple has always been transparent about our focus on building and growing a strong XRP ecosystem, she said. We want XRP to be the most liquid digital asset possible to enable faster, cheaper global payments. Gemini, which was founded by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, declined to comment. A Coinbase representative declined to discuss specific assets, but referred Bloomberg to the exchange's listing. And this is the same listing that I cited in my previous video on why XRP will not be going onto Coinbase, which if you click the link above, you can check it out there. So that's approximately the first 3/4 of the story. And I want to put this message out to those of you who are holding Ripple and you are perhaps hoping that sometime in the future that, you will get this huge Coinbase or Gemini pump, and to, consider the circumstances and the likelihood of Ripple going on Coinbase. So a major problem for Ripple is the fact that the company controls, if I remember correctly, over 90%, it may be as high as 97% of the total supply of Ripple. And the million-dollar question amongst SEC officials is, are cryptocurrencies securities? And especially in the case like Ripple, a cryptocurrency that is attached to a singular incorporated entity, while it is not a share, correct, of that given company, just like if you buy a Google stock, you own a portion of Google. On the other hand, if you buy a Ripple token, you don't own a portion of the Ripple organization. On the other hand, this Ripple coin consists of the primary cash, if you will, cash reserves of this organization. So this is the cryptocurrency that fuels that enterprise. So I think an important question to ask, could Ripple, the company, survive without XRP? And therefore, one who invests in XRP, are you in a way buttressing, propping up this company? While not quite a security, is it in that realm of being a security that makes it vulnerable to SEC crackdown? For those of you who do not know, the SEC said that they are going to look into exchanges that list cryptocurrencies that are in fact securities, and they can end up shutting down these exchanges if they are caught trading securities and not being registered entities. So both Gemini and Coinbase believe that this makes them vulnerable to that SEC crackdown. And something I want to say, in my last video, I said that simply, looking at the digital framework and thinking about the moral imperative of Coinbase and not listing Ripple, there is a part of me that says that, this is simply a matter of self-preservation. I'm sure they would be happy to take that $100 million loan from Ripple, but considering the risk and reward, it is a risk that they are not willing to take. So that is why, at least in the near future, until we get this business sorted out about whether or not Ripple is a security or not, can this question be finally settled. But, these are things to think about, and I'll provide a link to the story. It mentions the SEC background, and, this is not unusual for companies to pay exchanges to be listed. This is perfectly legal. The big question is, if they are security, is it legal for Coinbase to sell that asset? And right now, Coinbase is looking like, or Gemini as well, like they don't want to take that risk. So that's about all, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to give you an update on this Ripple story in Coinbase. And in the meantime, I'll check you later.